Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we are talking about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. This is directed by Tim Burton and it is the sequel to the 1988 classic film starring Michael Keaton, and he is reprising his role here. The film also brings back Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, and it includes a newcomer, Jenna Ortega. Newcomer to the franchise, you all know who she is. And diving right into this one, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't love the first trailer, but I really liked the subsequent trailer. So I went in just kind of hopeful to see, I hope this is good. Let's kind of see where we go. I'm very excited to say that I loved this movie. It exceeded all the expectations I had, and I think it is on par with the original Beetlejuice. Starting with the story, I thought that the story that they came up with for how you can continue in this world with the reoccurring characters was actually really interesting. It takes it in a new place from a new perspective as to why Beetlejuice would even be needed. And even in the afterlife side, there's a story going on in there with Beetlejuice that they're happening concurrently, and both were very intriguing. Getting into how the story was told, Tim Burton seems like he's having the time of his life making this movie. He feels very, very back to his roots, return to form. I believe the original Beetlejuice was only his second feature film, which is crazy. And with Tim Burton comes obviously a very specific filmmaking style, and that style is on full display, and it works in spades. The sets, the costumes, the practical effects, the claymation, all of it looks outstanding. And while there is some CGI in the film, its use is very minimal, and you can tell they only used it when needed to, and it really helps fully flesh out this world that was set up in that first movie. And speaking of that, they even add new additions to the world that seem like they've always been there, and it doesn't just feel like, oh, here's a new thing for the convenience of plot. It literally feels like an expansion of that world that was built in the first movie, which I really enjoyed seeing and thought they did a good job. On a performance level, everyone is doing fantastic work here. Michael Keaton is, of course, born to be Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder playing this character at a much different later stage in her life. I thought she did a really good job. Jenna Ortega's great. Catherine O'Hara is one of the top tier performances here. And I will say, though, I think Willem Dafoe stole the movie for me. He is fantastic, and I'm not going to give away what his character's deal is, but it's so funny, and the joke is used so well throughout the film. And speaking of the joke, obviously Beetlejuice has always been a sort of comedy with horror elements, and that is on full display here, and the humor really works. It is such a funny film. The only real issue that I have with the movie personally is, as I mentioned before, there are multiple storylines happening at once, and there's even a third storyline that gets thrown in there with Jenna Ortega's character. And while seeing all those storylines worked, and when they come together, it's very interesting, they are all resolved very conveniently. There's just kind of no way around that. They are all solved rather quickly. However, the movie leading up to that is so entertaining and so good that when everything got resolved, I kind of thought to myself, well, that was easy, but oh well. Had the rest of the movie up to that point been worse or been a non-enjoyable experience, then that would have bothered me a lot more than it did. But to me, the journey getting to that point was so fun and so interesting that I was kind of just whatever, when things got resolved quickly. But they are resolved quickly nonetheless. I forgot to mention Justin Therouc. His character was great as well. But yes, I was very pleasantly surprised by Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. What did you guys think? When you get a chance to see it, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to look at them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next review.